Welcome to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast, your podcast for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Sean Chavarella, Stephen Clary, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Hello, and welcome to another week's episode of Spare Parts Racing. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Taylor.
And friends, we had another sort of successful motorsports Christmas. We have a lot to talk about coming out of Monaco, Indianapolis, and Charlotte, and
Yes.
a whole bunch of other things really to get through. So without further ado, what do you guys want to start with?
I mean,
I feel like you're trying to tell us something, Taylor.
I feel like asking the question to her is sort of pointless.
Yeah,
I've got my Charles Leclerc shirt on, even though it's from a few years ago. It's still got that nice Monaco flag on there. So
Missing
I'm happy to
HP.
start with. Yeah, well,
Get a blue sticker
I know.
on there.
just HP everywhere,
Yeah.
just like their car. Guys, the curse is broken. It's finally broken. I'm so thrilled.
I mean, I'm happy for you. I'm going to let you finish. Indianapolis had one of the best races of all time. Of all time.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
Monaco we
honestly,
should
we
start
can
with,
kind
yes.
of gloss. Yeah, like Monaco, I would say was like a mostly successful race. Maybe not if you are a Red Bull, or definitely if you are a Haas. Ooh.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
The
So we
only
had
thing
some interesting things happen.
You had the first lap, and that was it.
First lap, like 500 meters.
Yeah, I know.
Well, no, because like first lap, you had Sainz puncture, Red Bull sandwich, Red Bull Haas sandwich, and Alpine's
A
stupidity.
French Civil War.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yes.
Oh wait, no, they already
no,
used
you
that as a
can't say
Netflix title.
Yeah, you can't say that it was Alpine stupidity. It was Ocon's stupidity.
Okay, fine, fair enough. Anyway, so first lap was fun. For
Anyway.
Monaco.
Sainz got so freaking lucky though, like
Yes,
so lucky.
but I mean it's the right call.
It is the right call. It's just like one of those things of like, I'm sure that he was probably like, if there's going to be something that happens to save my race, like, I don't know, have it happen. And it did. And he got just like so freaking lucky though. Because otherwise, like, he would have just been in the back and that's it. Like there would be no podium for Sainz. So, unfortunate incident though. What are your opinions on that? Because I think a lot of people
Talking
kind of like
the
it's
Magnussen Paris woman.
yes,
We're talking incident?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, like the incident of the race. The only incident of the race, really, that mattered.
Okay, before we go into the fault, what was your thoughts watching in the moment that incident?
Honestly, my first instinct was that Magnussen made a move that just didn't pan out. So, kind of a racing incident, but then the commentators start, right? And you're like, oh, well, like, it's Magnussen's fault. He's probably going to get a penalty for that. So, no, I just kind of thought it was a racing incident. I think it was just unfortunate timing.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. Like, at first I was like, oh, well, Magnussen, what are you doing there? But then I'm like, okay, Perez, what are you doing there? And it just kind of seemed like one of those things where two guys are kind of racing hard at the start, and you kind of run out of room.
Yeah.
And it's just the nature of a street track. Like, how many times do we see in, like, Baku, first couple corners, guys side by side, guys touch, and someone ends up in the wall, right? Like, it just kind of seems like one of those incidents where, 2 into 1 didn't really work out. And then Hulkenberg was just the innocent victim.
Casualty.
Yeah. As
Wrong
they go
place,
off
wrong
the
time.
wall.
Yeah.
But wow, that car got fucked.
Oh my gosh, I know. And like that's what we said in the chat, right? Like they were following the race, right? Like they were following obviously the leaders, and then all of a sudden the Red Bull has no wheels. Like it's just carnage everywhere, and we're like, what happened? Like, it just didn't see the incident at all. But I did find it interesting how later on in the broadcast, I think it was during the red flag, how like when you replayed it, you could see that Perez knew that Magnussen was there. So it was like a conscious decision not to move or give him space. So, I mean, that's probably why Magnussen doesn't have a race ban for Montreal.
Yeah, I think they definitely ruled it as more of a racing incident.
Yeah.
As much as you kind of want to put blame on someone there, it was just kind of like, well, you kind of fucked each other, really.
It's two guys going for, or basically trying to go for position at a place where you can't pass later on or after the first lap of the race and you're in the first 500 meters of the entire race. So like, I don't know, you could go like maybe 60-40 on blame, but it's.
I do wonder how this will affect Sergio going forward, though.
Oh,
because
apparently he's going to be fucking re-signed again.
See, and that's what I've been hearing. However, it doesn't want to sign a 1-year contract again. He wants a 2-year. So
everyone wants a 2-year.
I know, but there's a lot of questions. Like, does he just hold out for that, or does he just say like, well, I want a seat regardless, so I'll just sign for 1 year, right? Like, there's just a lot of questions.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and like, Sainz has been struggling the last few weeks. He has not looked good. All of a sudden, Red Bull that looked unbeatable to start this year, it looks like they're actually in danger in this championship now. Like, I
know.
I'm amazed that all of a sudden, like, oh, you know what? Ferrari isn't that far behind, and neither is McLaren after this week.
Nope.
There was like, what is it now? It is a
24 points for Ferrari and 90 something points for McLaren.
Yeah, but the 24 of Ferrari, you're like, if we were to talk beginning of the year, and Ferrari is less than a win away from Red Bull in points, I think all of us would be like, wow, that's a great start to the season.
Mm-hmm.
But we're at this point now where, okay, Red Bull looks like they're going to be dominating. We're all like, okay, season's a bust. Last 3 weeks we have, okay.
Maybe it's not.
Yeah. I think a big part of that is Perez struggling.
Yeah. Well, and like also like it's very clear that the Red Bull car is not perfection. Like, it is not perfect by any stretch. Like, it is well suited to the tracks that it's well suited to, but on circuits where it does not necessarily like reach that top performance level, you see it. Like, they struggle. So I'm very interested to see, like, especially in Singapore, where are they going to be? Because we know that Red Bull struggles there every single year. But it's really nice to see that, like, you know, we're at Monaco and this season is shaping up to be challenging for like any team, which is very exciting. Like, I think we had a season last year where we could just like, yeah, Verstappen's going to win, whatever. We could kind of tune out, but the upgrades are working.
Yes.
And it's great to see.
But if I'm looking at the next few races, I feel like, okay, Canadian Grand Prix, that might be a Red Bull track. A lot of high speed.
Yeah.
Because if you look at like the last 2 races with like Imola and Monaco, not a lot of straights. You know, a lot of start stop kind of low speed corners, medium speed, not a whole lot of high speed or straights. Canadian Grand Prix, yeah, you get your medium speeds and your long straights. That sounds like a Red Bull track. Spanish Grand Prix, for some reason, I feel like that could be like a McLaren track. Austrian, again, Red Bull track. British Grand Prix, I don't know, Ferrari track. Hungarian Grand Prix, maybe a Ferrari track. Like, all of a sudden, you're like, okay, I can see different teams doing well at each track again. And it's kind of like, it's almost like a 2018 vibe.
Mm-hmm.
When like
Yeah.
Mercedes was really good at all the high downforce, and then Ferrari was really good at anything that was like low speed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it's all of a sudden a kind of a fun season. But yeah, back to the whole thing on Perez. Yeah, I don't know what, like, okay, I don't understand why, one, he is possibly going to be re-signed because he has struggled.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is he? He is fifth in the standings. I'm just pulling up the results for the overall like year. He has what, 3 podiums?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Four podiums.
4, okay. Wow. And like those were the first 5 races. Yeah, I don't know. I do not know if I would be comfortable bringing back Perez now. Now that all of a sudden Ferrari and McLaren seem to have figured something out and have gotten closer.
Yeah.
Plus, Red Bull's going to now struggle on development with the cost cap. You just lost an entire car.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Well,
and to be fair, like, you shouldn't have been in that position, Perez. You're in a Red Bull, and you didn't make it out of Q1.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of confusing, but like I feel like this season we're actually going to get a silly season that is a little bonkers because I've like seen so many different rumors. I mean, like Sainz, I think is apparently closer to a deal with Williams for 2025.
Yep.
I had also seen his hat thrown into the ring for the Red Bull seat. Like it's kind of like who knows what's going to happen. Like
apparently,
and honestly,
it's not Yuki. Yuki's not in the running for Red Bull for some reason.
Yeah, and he's looking elsewhere outside of the Red Bull family.
That's what you have to do.
Like I find it hilarious. Like, for this year is the year you're gonna see teams make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Red Bull holds on to Perez, that can be a mistake.
I think so too.
I
think at this point, even like especially if you take into consideration last year, like he still had like races where he struggled quite a bit in that car. But I think he was able, like, I'm not saying he's not talented, but I think that he had a cushion because the teams were that much further behind in development in the car.
100% agree.
Right? The Red Bull was just that much faster that he kind of had a cushion to kind of perform in whatever way. So I think Red Bull was like, yeah, okay, we'll keep him, right? Or he had 1 more year on his deal. But it's like, I don't know, like, especially after this weekend, if he hasn't signed anything, you know, do you start looking elsewhere?
If he has a bad Canadian Grand Prix, I definitely think he's on the hot seat.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, okay, you've had 2 bad races back to back. Not the best performance, Miami, still 4th, whatever. If you now cannot hang with the competition when it gets tougher, that's a problem for Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's even rumors like for Mercedes, or it's looking like what's his name, Kimi Antonelli.
Oh,
is going to be at Mercedes. Okay, if that's your gamble, that could be a mistake for them.
I feel like
let's see what Alpine does with Ocon.
That's a good idea. Oh, see, and that's what I'm thinking. Is there going to be an open seat at Alpine? Because like apparently like Bruno was pissed. He was mad, like tearing Ocon a new one, like in the paddock, in front of everybody. It was a stupid move.
It was unnecessary, and it probably cost your team a double-point finish.
Absolutely, but what's unfortunate is that it's kind of par for the course for Ocon. Like he's done this time and time again, and after so many years in F1, and really like this is Pierre's 2nd year in Alpine.
Yep.
Honestly, like you've been there for many, like 4 seasons, 3 or 4 seasons. Like you're kind of the leader of the team, and you're making dumb decisions like that. He's constantly like going for things that just, it's not going to work. And why are you attacking your teammate? Like, it doesn't make any sense, especially for like the crappy start they had to the season. Why would you risk it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Big questions. Big questions.
No,
Apparently
I agree.
Netflix was following Ocon for Monaco though, so I'm sure they were selling that.
But yeah, we haven't even really talked about Leclerc. He won, broke the curse.
He did break the curse, and it's really exciting for him, and obviously very emotional. I'm happy he at least got a win this season, which is great. Like, it's his first win since Austria of 2022. So
It's been that long, eh? Wow.
It has been that long. But again, like 2023, Red Bull was so dominant that like it's not a surprise.
Yep.
So it's just really exciting for him. I mean, it's the first Monegasque to win Monaco since what, like many years ago?
The 30s?
30s or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it was 33, 1933, I think.
I was
Yeah,
1935.
80-something years.
Early 30s.
Yeah,
let's say
either
that.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really historic for him, and it's a great moment. It was an awesome celebration on the podium. So yeah, I mean, like, I was thrilled as a Ferrari fan, but also like as a Charles fan. So, yeah, it's just it was nice to see a pole position actually pan out for him at Monaco.
Yeah, and honestly, his lap, he looked fast all weekend.
He was, and I think he really managed very well, because I think that there was a point in time that I think Piastri could have gotten him.
It was 1931, by the way, 31.
Wow, yeah. That's insane. I mean, like, awesome though. So exciting. So happy for him.
It's still bizarre looking at, like, okay, just a quick aside. The by year winners of Monaco, I mean, like, some Nazi flags in there. Because yeah. Anyways, the last Monegasque driver to win a Monaco was before the Nazis, so good on him.
Well, that's
good on the club.
Good. Yeah. Yay.
Oof. Anyway, but yeah, it was really awesome to see Leclerc. The celebration, that was great. The podium was fantastic. Love Prince
Podium
Albert
of the
there.
year.
Prince Albert spraying the champagne, getting right in there.
And he's
perfect.
The mild panic of the driver saying, "Do we spray him? Do we celebrate with him?"
The only guy that can get away with that is Leclerc.
Yes. Absolutely. No, it was really great. It was just fantastic.
I don't know if you guys saw, there was the one kid who I'm assuming is some little
Princeling or something.
Something like that. But Leclerc gives him a hug, and he's already covered in champagne. You can see the kid like licking his fingers afterward, like trying to taste the champagne, and I'm assuming his mom giving him a whack on the head, like, "What are you doing?"
I didn't see that, but that's hilarious.
I did see that. I can't remember where I saw that, but hilarious.
That's perfect. I respect that.
Fucking kids these days.
Kids these days.
Damn alcoholics.
Just want to be like the adults, but then you become an adult and you just realize that you would rather still be a kid.
There's no such thing as an adult, okay? Everyone's a kid.
I agree. Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, like,
So true.
Everyone still has childish fantasies, like still thinking that Ferrari has a chance. Like, you know what? It just happens.
Okay, all right. Okay, excuse me. Ferrari is going to win the championship. They just won Monaco. Don't you know how this works?
Didn't like Red Bull win Monaco for many years when like Mercedes was
Anyway.
Okay, move on for that conversation. Fine.
If I had my little banner.
Little flags, little Guido flags.
My little Guido flags. I am Guido. It's actually like a problem, but I am Guido from Cars.
At least you're self-aware, and I respect that.
Of course I am. Did I not send you something the other day that's like the Delulu is strong with me?
Yes.
I'm self-aware of my delusions.
Good for you. Is that all we have for Monaco? Anything else? Anything else
No.
F1 related besides obviously like the different rumors of where people are going to go? What? If you mention another single rumor involving someone named Bonato, I will come over there and stab you.
You mean Bonato possibly going to Aston?
La 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 la. Can't do that. I don't
Oh,
want to talk about it.
I will cry of laughter if that comes through as like confirmed.
Yeah, apparently he's gonna. The rumor is he's gonna go as a chief technical officer. So
Because that worked out well at Ferrari.
you know what? I think he'll take the CTO position, but I think they have the acronym wrong. It's actually chief. It's actually cheating technical officer. So
Nice.
yeah, because he cheats. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. It's joke. Come on.
It was never published. It was
Oh
a
yeah, the
loophole.
findings. Oh yeah.
Ah,
Let
they
me get
all
away from
cheat.
there.
That's the whole point. Find the loopholes in the rule book.
How did you guys see last F1 talk? The rankings for the drivers for F1 2024.
No.
Okay, I just sent it to you guys. Thoughts? Number one driver. I think you can guess who ranked number one is.
Shocker.
Obviously.
Um,
Interesting.
a couple
Why
names
is
I
Alonso
think might.
second?
Alonso second is a choice.
Yeah.
That's a
That's,
choice.
That's an overall career grade.
Sergio?
Okay, but if we're talking
Yeah.
an overall career grade, someone is ranked 6th on there
Yeah.
that I don't think should be there. I think Lewis and Alonso should be swapped.
Based on how the last couple of weeks have gone for Alonso, yeah.
Like, what the fuck has he done
Yeah.
recently?
Played
Why is
bodyguard
Stroll
for Lance.
so low?
Stroll deserves to be not.
Yeah,
can
but
move him up a little bit.
Yuki behind Ricardo and Hulkenberg
Bottas, like,
and
ooh.
Bottas. How is Bottas up there?
Honestly, the guys who I think are ranked too high. Alonso. I would swap that with Hamilton. I think that'd be fair.
Yeah.
The French. Just both of them. Like, yeah, you've won a race. Whoop-de-doo.
Ricardo's a little high based on this year.
And last year.
And, like, really, we're going to say Logan Sargent's a 78 if we're putting Stroll at an 80? Like,
Isn't that a 70?
it says 70?
No, it's a 7D. Yeah,
that's
70.
That's a 0 there, my friend.
Oh,
I was like,
boy.
sir, there's no way that he's like higher than that.
Ooh, that's insulting. He should be at least 75.
Yeah. Well, he was.
That's just mean.
I'm honestly really confused how Bottas is 81.
How is Bottas 81, but then you have the two French boys, 84 and 83? I don't get that.
No, how is Bottas 81 and Yuki is 81? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Bump them all up.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Like, I honestly put Piastri above Albon.
yeah.
Yeah, that too. Like Piastri's been good the last couple of weeks.
I think Albon's...
It depends on when they lock this in.
Why does George always look like that? Like,
Oh, is this a power ranking? Like
No, this is like
that
the
change?
rankings of like an NFL, like a Madden, NHL,
Oh, okay.
like a player ranking.
Yeah. No, but they'll do like updates throughout the year for players, right? That's what I'm saying.
think
Like,
so,
is
but
this
I-
like updated after
If
like
that's what you're starting with, that's
when
still
did we lock this
questionable.
in? When did we lock this in? Is my question. That's what I want to know.
I still think it's
Because
terrible.
I know they were doing some advertising for it, so like it's
Honestly,
probably
if
like
that's what your
pre
goal is, fuck it, put Max higher. Put Max 97.
yeah. I was gonna say, this
Yeah.
is probably like pre Imola because I'm trying to remember when I started seeing them
Even
doing
then,
the
it's
promos.
still ridiculous.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, even then it's like highly questionable at best.
I don't like
It's-
it.
I hate it.
Like, why is Stroll not 99? Like, come on.
All
He hit a
right.
wall today or this weekend, man. Come on.
Yeah, but like,
Why is Stroll
he
not
brings the
99?
budget, so therefore it's a 99.
Yeah, fair.
It's the budget.
Okay, in that
His
case, Sargent's like
father
at
brings
least
the
an
budget.
85.
Damn right.
Yeah,
Put some
true.
respect on that.
No.
That would be fun to have like a money.
Power rankings by money.
Stroll.
No, not even power rankings by money, just financial backing. Stroll, 99. You cannot beat having your dad buy a team. Sargent, he
Yeah,
just
that's fair.
has some. Sargent just has money. So
America.
93.
You have to remember though, with Sargent, he's supported by like Murica.
That's true.
Gotta get that
exactly,
Murican
exactly.
So
homeboy.
here's a question. Do you think Yost slapped Max for not being a 99?
Probably.
No,
Why are you not top? Smack.
that is so horrible.
Fine, left him at a gas station instead. Is that better?
First off, Max does not live at home anymore. I'm sure he avoids his father as much as possible in terms of like being alone with him where he could be slapped. He's too busy being a great stepfather to pee.
And being a cat dad and just being a amazing sim racing dude.
Yeah, but he works always. Anyway,
Congratulations
great.
to Leclerc. Yeah. Good Monaco.
Monaco was great. On to Montreal in 2 weeks.
When you'll be there.
Yes, I will be flagging.
Sucker.
Can't wait to wake up at 4 something in the morning.
If you're flagging, I hope Max ends up in your corner. Like crashes in your corner.
No, don't say that because
Oh,
this is my first time
I
working
hope
this
you
and
have
I
to
don't
interact with
I
someone.
don't no. No.
Fine, how about this? I hope the Leclerc engine fails from the lead in your corner.
That's
And has
so
to leave.
rude.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm probably going to be in a corner where like nothing could ever happen cuz I'm a newbie, so
Yeah, probably. Save for that.
yeah.
You're actually going to be on a straight.
Anyway.
That's
Well,
fun.
on to the next.
The best race
in
of the
motorsport.
weekend.
Honestly,
the Indy 500.
yeah. It was a really great race. It was bumping
It almost didn't
after the
happen.
rain delay.
Yeah.
After the rain delay.
And we all watched this one too, right?
Yep.
Yes.
First off, did we miss any race this week?
No. Well, I mean, some of the Coke 600 or 3 whatever or however many
I think
miles it was.
I think it was the Coke. Sorry, let me just pull it up here. I have it somewhere. I saw a tweet that I saved, so I gotta figure out what it was at. This is great content.
The Coke 373 and a half.
Damn it, beat me to it.
Yeah, so I watched every lap of the Indy 500, which was fantastic. It was great.
Oh, it was great on
Um,
TSN Plus. No commercials.
Yes, it's even better on TSN Plus. And you know what? This year, I have to commend the commentators. I didn't have to sit through like people saying how great Ferrucci is,
Oh,
unless it
Townsend
was Danica
tried.
Patrick.
Townsend tried.
Oh,
All
okay.
the time.
Maybe I missed that, and I just stopped listening because I was like, as soon as I heard Ferrucci's name, I was like, I'm not listening to this.
Townsend Bell tries to tag. Oh, look at Ferrucci. You know who never mentions Ferrucci fucking once in commentary?
Hinchcliffe?
I love Hinch. Like,
Well, he was the only one who called it out last year. When it's like, he's a great young American. It's like, you realize there's another American leading the race, right?
winning the race. Spoiler alert.
There's well, no, because this is like with still
I
like
know.
half the race to go. It's like there's at least 2 guys in front of him that are also American.
Like, I'll admit, Ferrucci's pretty fucking good around Indy. Honestly, he gives me definitely some like Carlos Munoz vibes.
Yeah.
Isn't he the guy that disappeared? Remember when we tried to find him?
Yes, I still.
We still want to know.
We still want to know. Munoz, if you listen to this podcast and you're out there, please let us know that you're okay.
I think he liked something recently on Twitter, actually. So I think there was some proof of life. Yeah, he actually did like something on Twitter. He hadn't liked things since like last year or something, and he liked some IndyCar stuff this week. So there is proof of life out there. He is alive.
Okay.
Somewhere.
I remember when we tried to do that deep dive and like figure out if he was like actually still around, but like glad to know that he's still alive. Anyway, I love Hinge commentating. Honestly, I love his commentary.
Yes.
It's just great.
It's insightful. It's like, and it's like just
It
comes
is.
across as like, yeah, I've been there. I get it. Like this is
Yes.
It's not like elitist or anything where it's like, oh yeah, I was a driver, you weren't, kind of thing. It's
Therefore,
just like, hey,
I know better.
This is how it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is my favorite commentator to listen to when it comes to IndyCar.
Definitely. I mean, Lee Diffie
in the
is still
Indy
great
500.
too, but
Yeah.
500. We have the weather delay to the race. Starts 3 hours later.
Yeah.
Was it
Fucking
like 4?
Maybe.
1.5?
Caution fest, first 50 laps.
Oh yeah.
Like holy shit! From the wrecks in the first turn wreck involving who was it? Ericsson. Sorry, Taylor. I think it was Fittipaldi and one of the other guys.
A Kvist. Wasn't it a
I think it was a
Kvist?
Kvist. I
Blomqvist?
just don't know which one. Maybe it was Blomqvist. Yeah. Yeah, 'cause he
was
got his
Blomqvist.
he got his wheel on the inside of the grass in the first turn, and Marcus had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
To be fair,
So disappointing.
when you qualify in the back, these are the things that you're more susceptible to because
Absolutely.
more shit around you.
Yep. It happens.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was that. And then you had under the caution, Armstrong's engine blew.
Yes. Bad day to be a Marcus.
Bad day to be a Honda.
Yes.
Yeah. Bad day to be a Honda. For sure.
If you were a Vist or a Marcus, you had a bad day.
So true.
'Cause I
Actually,
think-
so hold on. I do have a question though about one of the cautions because I believe Herta had a
we'll
was
get to
one
that
of the
one.
cautions.
We can get to that one. Don't
Because
worry.
I'm like, I've got questions about
Herta
that
fucked
one.
up. Herta fucked
Oh,
up huge.
100%.
So the first lap crash, Tom Blomqvist, Fittipaldi, Marcus Ericsson, womp womp.
Womp womp.
2 rookies, or 1 rookie done. Next rookie, Marcus Armstrong, engine gone. Unfortunate. Bad day to be a Honda. Few laps later, next Honda, Catherine Legg goes pop.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was so disappointing.
29th,
I was rooting for her, too.
29th is her highest positioning ever at the 500.
Jeez.
She either gets wrecked out or has some kind of mechanical failure. If she can just have like a good car for once, I'm sure she could be in like the top 15.
Yeah.
And she looked fine
Top
to start
20.
too. Like she was
Yeah.
running decent position when that failed. So, alas, yeah. So, laps 1 was the first cars. Lap 6 was Armstrong. 22 was Catherine Legg. Then you had Linus Lundqvist wreck on the restart of that caution. He just lost it wide and pancaked the wall. So you had 5 Hondas done then? 6 Hondas. And like that was the easiest bet to make for this race was Honda or Chevy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
you just have to look at the starting grid.
Oh yeah. And then Felix Rosenqvist had an issue. Did his engine go too? Rosenqvist?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That was all in the first 50 laps. You had all those guys drop out.
Oh, I know. It was really like a happening first 50 laps of the Indy 500.
Yeah. But the fun thing was it allowed for split strategy. Like it was kind of cool in this race where you had different groups on different strategy. And you really saw it all play out at the end when you had Rossi and Award. Again, my 2 picks for the race. Fuck.
Oh.
So close. At one point, I'm like, Rossi has this. Rossi has this. Then Rossi had a fucking fuel save.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was the only guy.
Through
Only guy that had a
so
fuel
many
save.
emotions. The end of the 500. So many emotions. Because honestly, by the end of it, I was rooting for. Like, I really wanted Pato to win.
Everyone wanted Pato to win.
Oh, crushing. Just crushing.
But yeah, other guys who were taken out, Ryan Hunter-Reay got squeezed by Dixon.
Right.
In that,
Yep.
Dixon should have been penalized for that.
Probably.
Yeah.
He definitely got the you're a veteran benefit of the doubt there.
Yeah.
But that was a bad move. Just a hip check, Ryan Hunter-Reay into the grass.
Yeah.
Marco crashed, sadly.
I saved $20 though.
Yeah. Wait,
How'd
you save $20?
Because remember last week when you were like, I think it might be Marco's year. I said to you, I said, Sean, if Marco wins the 500, I will give you $20.
Fine, fair enough.
I just saved $20.
Fine. Herta crashed. We can talk about the Herta one where he spun, hit the wall with the nose of the car.
Oh man.
Got out.
Yeah.
Car was fine. Just needed to replace the nose.
I was looking at this and I was like, this is the driver that everybody's hyped up and like should be in F1. He's so good, and yet like colossal mistake. Like that is a colossal mistake.
Oh, okay. Do you actually think that's a big fault from Herta? Because like while it was a mistake to get out and you're done, I don't fault him at all for that. Yeah, it sucks spinning from second at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But we saw, I'm pretty sure Rinus VK did that last year or 2 years ago also, like crashed from like a top 3 spot. So, yeah. I do not think Herta did anything wrong there. He just spun and lost it at like 200 something. You hit the wall at probably close to like 180.
Mm-hmm.
You think the first thing going through your mind is everything okay? Are all my wheels attached? You're probably just thinking, fuck, that just happened.
Someone get my car back out there?
Yeah, you're not thinking, is everything running? You're just like, fuck, race is ruined, we're done. You're not checking every tire. You don't have anyone looking over, and you're just trying to get out of there as fast as you can, because that's what you're told to do. So, yes, it sucks that they brought it back to the garage. He gets cleared from the medical center and then goes, Herta, back in.
Yeah. In his race, and then it was kind of done by that point. But, well, I respect your opinion.
He only finished like 30 laps down. Like 29 maybe?
Only 30 laps down.
30 laps down.
That's not bad for wrecking.
Yeah.
Like how many people ever get back in the race after wrecking?
Very few. He squeezed a couple extra points out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
fair enough.
That's the takeaway.
Yeah, and then Will Power was the last guy who had real contact incident.
He just sort of disappeared after the first stint. I thought, because me and Sean were watching this together, my thought was, maybe the Penske's are splitting up because this is when you started to get this divergence in strategy, and you had Daly and Stingray Robb stay out.
Yep.
To lead the pack. So I was like, maybe the Penske's are now splitting up because they can't control when they fuel save anymore. Nope, he just fucked right off.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of like nice to see that a Penske wasn't doing so well because they were, I would say, like Penske was pretty dominant for a good chunk of the 500.
You saw who won, right?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
I know.
It's really just the one that didn't do well.
I know. Well,
Though
yeah, I guess we
Newgarden
can
did
already
buck the
say,
trend.
like,
We were talking about this last week, how no one that starts in the front three has finished up high or has won the race.
true.
And Newgarden bucked
Yeah.
that trend, and first part of the race, he kind of was pedestrian.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like it was
Yeah.
McLaughlin, and there was a lot of talk about Ferrucci up there, and like Stinger Rob and Daly being up there. No one was talking about Newgarden for the first 60 laps of the race.
A lot of the guys that ended up at the front were sort of pedestrian for the first little bit. Like, there was not a lot of mentions of Award because he was back in the middle of the pack.
Rossi was there all the time. He was a solid fourth the entire time.
Yeah, but he was never. He sat back for a lot of it, right?
Yes.
Like, you could see he was not going up to challenge. Palou, same thing. Kirkwood, sort of the same thing. Like, they were not challenging. They had a strategy in mind, and it was save, save, save.
That is fair.
Yeah.
So that was clearly the strategy to go with.
It was cool, though, to see, what was it? Did you see how many passes were in this race?
No.
So again,
What was the final count?
I have it here. 1 second. Let me just pull it up. 649 on-track passes.
Go buy a lottery ticket.
Wow.
Oh yeah, 649. Funny. That's only a joke for us in Ontario. I hope you know that, right?
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's still funny.
So yeah, 649 on-track passes. How many did Monaco have?
1?
4.
3.
4.
No.
They had 4? Wow. Really? Wow. That's high for Monaco.
No, it's not. That's terrible. That's fucking awful.
Yeah.
So yeah, 649. Did y'all see it was a record for number of cars leading?
Yeah, I could believe
Yeah, they had
that.
a lot of different leaders. Did you take a picture when Kiffin Simpson was leading?
There were 16 different leaders, and I fucking sent you that photo. Okay, so you know I did.
I know, it was hilarious when I saw it. And then at the end of the race, when Kiffin Simpson was leading the race, I sent a message to a friend of mine from the track, and I was like, "Is it Kiffin Simpson's year?"
You know what?
We all knew he had
Kiffin
to make a pit stop.
Kiffin Simpson, because just to rub this in, he led 3 laps of the race. Okay, you know who only led 1 lap of the race?
Ferrucci.
Fucking Santino Ferrucci. So fuck yes, go Simpson.
I wish that Ferrucci led 0 laps of the race, but
Fair.
Stingray Rob led 23.
Yep, he
I
was
know,
the
I
second
know.
highest. Connor Daly was 22.
that is
That is
Whack.
hilarious.
But yeah, then the race came down to that Award Newgarden fight, and I thought going into
that
the last lap, Award did everything right.
lap. Oh my gosh, he did everything he could, and I was so crushed for him because it was like the same thing when Ericsson won. It was the same thing that happened last lap.
Yep.
He overtook Award to win the 500, and it's
Yep.
just painful to be there,
could
not once but
watch-
twice.
You could watch Award do it, and like he was timing his pass, timing it. He didn't want to be the leader going into the last lap. He wanted to get him into the first turn on the last lap. And think about this: on the last lap of the race, there was 2 changes for the lead. Award
Yeah.
took it, and then Newgarden took it back.
It was so sad for him.
And I think it was like what was it? David Land in his video talking about it. Him and Kyle, they were talking about the extreme weave down the straight. Probably cost him. Probably
Yeah,
cost him
probably.
a mile per hour or 2 going into that last corner. And yeah, like the extreme weave might not be the answer. Actually, the whole unleashing the dragon bullshit or whatever the fuck that is.
It's just crushing. But
Yeah.
Newgarden ended up winning. So at this point, can we call him as the champion of the season.
No, not even close. He's still down in points.
Yeah.
You know
And with
he's
the
7th
schedule.
now, right?
Yeah, 7th. He still lost a whole race.
He
Okay.
still lost a whole race, and the back half of the schedule is
Steven, who's
His
first
bread
in
and butter.
points?
Hello,
Who's second?
no.
Dixon.
Huh.
Mm,
Funny how those
Dixon
guys
could
are
get
there.
it.
Yep.
Well, they're always there. They're always there.
You know who is the top 3 oval drivers the last, was it like 3 years?
Newgarden.
Yep.
I'd say Award.
Yep.
Oh,
Ooh,
I would love.
I did
for
not think
Award
I'd
to
get
come
this
back.
far. Power.
Dixon.
Ah,
So
you
Dixon
almost
gets,
had it, Steven.
I know. Dixon could get that championship too.
He could.
I wouldn't be surprised.
There's still so much racing left to do.
Yeah.
There is. There's so much racing. There really is.
Like Detroit this week, which everyone was bitching about that IndyCar didn't promote.
I mean, they just blew their marketing budget on the 500, so
I was like, they just did the 500.
They don't have a marketing budget. We all know this.
Mhm.
But yeah, so yeah, I guess that's the. Any other performances you want to talk about for the 500?
I'd say Kyle Kirkwood had a solid day, and I could see him winning this.
You know what? Actually, it's a good
1
point
year.
for having a drive-through penalty to coming back to finish 7th. Yeah, that is true.
He was good. Fucking VK finishing top 10. That team went through the fucking ringer last week.
Yeah.
And the fact they had a top 10 car at the end of this is fucking amazing.
So remember how we went through my bets last week of guys who, and you were kind of like, "Oh, you're fucking crazy," yada yada.
Which one?
Augustine Canapino had a great fucking race that got
He
ruined by
had-
a drive-through.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was with what? That was on the last round of pit stops,
The
right?
last, yeah.
So, zero chance to recover. But yeah, he was having a good day. Probably wasn't going to win, but would have been probably top between 7 and 15, probably
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
I think it's definitely a chance of a top 10.
Yeah, so. Yeah, he was having a good day. Fucking Christian Rasmussen had a good day too.
Yeah. Didn't
Finishing
win Rookie of
12th.
the Year.
No.
Which we could discuss if should the Rookie of the Year be the best finisher or the best rookie of the month?
You got to take both into account, I think,
I think
right?
so. Again,
Right.
if you're arguing that Larson didn't deserve Rookie of the Year, and also this is just the first time talking about the 500 that we've mentioned Larson, which
Yeah.
obviously there's more
Right.
to talk about there, but he was qualifying the Fast 12. He was running up front. He only fell back to 18th due to a speeding penalty on pit road and a drive-through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, he had a very good competitive Indy 500, and I think he was definitely in contention to be up there at the end, and just the pit stop killed him.
Which, in the end, is not overly surprising considering how much like green flag on track time he missed out on last week.
Yeah,
Right? Like he only had what did we say he had? He only had like 80 something laps completed. So that's maybe what? Maybe like a live pit stop.
and if you're watching Carb
At
Day
speed.
towards the end of practice, they were just doing pit stops.
Yeah, which makes sense.
But you
like,
don't get that access, that route in until Carb Day,
Yep.
and it was limited running to then.
Yep.
But yeah.
So
Also, fun fact.
it makes me excited for next year when he runs it.
Speaking of Carb Day, also, did you know who finished 1-2 in the pit stop challenge?
Wasn't it Grosjean and
Nope. For the pit
Who
stop
was it?
challenge, fastest pit stop?
yeah, wasn't Grosjean in the final?
No, it was Newgarden Award.
Oh,
And Newgarden won.
Oh.
that's
Ooh.
So therefore,
Oh no.
next year, bet on whoever wins the pit stop challenge. They're probably going to win.
I guess.
Yeah, that's not a
Based
terrible.
on
I don't know.
As long as you don't speed in the pit lane.
Yeah.
But
Based
yeah,
on 1 year of data.
another guy
I was
want
gonna
to shout
say, like,
out.
should we be looking at it?
I was saying another guy to shout out. I would say would be Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if he gets
had
more.
he had the
ovals.
issue going back, knocked to the back to start the race, drove his way up, pit lane speeding penalty, knocked back, finished 11th.
Good for him. I love
that.
Ilott.
That was a car that could have won, in terms of speed.
Yes. I'm so disappointed that Ilott isn't in IndyCar anymore because of that whole like whatever Yankos thing, but I hope he makes his way back. Would love to see him back in IndyCar. I think he's a great driver.
I think he's a great driver
10
and a
out of
great
10.
personality.
Yeah. He's just a great dude.
Yes.
Oh, we need more of that. Take Ferrucci off. Slot Callum Ilott.
But like even
that
that,
place.
like seeing the personality stuff and like the individualness of like some of the drivers, like Newgarden jumping the crowd and like doing that kind of personable stuff. That's awesome. He wins. He jumps in the crowd. He's just celebrating, jumping with the fans. How do you not just look at that and smile?
Man of the people.
Absolutely.
And then you cut to
Man of
Pato
the
O'Ward.
people.
And then you cut to Pato just basically crying.
Rip your heart out.
And you're like, ugh.
Not basically
no.
crying. He was crying.
Okay, they didn't show him actually
Dude was
with tears.
heartbroken.
But yeah, you could see in his eyes he had been crying. He thought he did everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you're just like, I just want to hug all of them. I want to hug Newgarden because I love that celebration in the crowd. And I feel terrible for Pato. And like, oh, that is just gut-wrenching.
Mm-hmm.
And like, speaking of disappointments, okay, now we can talk about Kyle Larson. So he got delayed because of the weather. And then said, fuck it, we're doing Indy. Honestly,
I
that is
respect the hell out of that.
That is the yes, like ballsy as hell to be like, this race means more, pays more than the Coke 600. Plus, don't forget, Newgarden got like what, $4 million, 4.2, I think, something like that.
3.5 or something.
I think it was like 4.
I don't know. He got a lot of money.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I also thought it was 4.2 or something like that.
yes. 4.2 million. Yes, that's what he got. It was an $18 million purse for this race.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Larson, if you want to just go for the money, you take this race.
Wow.
You probably get paid more for doing this race than you do for your one race in NASCAR. So,
Oh,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
they probably also looked at it like seeing the weather delay and saw, you know what? The Coke 600 might also get rained out. So why am I going to risk
spoiler alert.
one of my 2 chances?
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Why am I going to risk
that whole
one
thing
of my
was so
2
funny.
chances at the Indy 500? He might get more in the end. Like, based off of this
Yeah.
performance, I'd say, yeah, if he keep, I'd bring him back every year that he says he wants to keep coming back at this point.
I would love for more people to come because, like, honestly, it's such a.
Yep.
The Indy 500, prestige-wise, is one of the biggest races in the world, and it's shown. Like, the crowd
Absolutely.
there, like, there's no race that has more people at it than the 500. Just all
It's
the
Triple
pageantry.
Crown.
It is Triple Crown, though. I saw someone say that has Monaco kind of lost its prestige a bit because it's not the best race.
A little
But
bit.
anyway,
I feel like we could talk about how they could make it better, and like we have, but I would say like of the Triple Crown races, like Le Mans and Indy are so exciting. They're always exciting.
yeah. But Indy is the better, more entertaining race. It is the best race to
Yes.
sit down and just watch the whole thing. It's really hard to watch 24 hours and be like, okay, what's happening now?
Oh yeah.
Oh, this team has
Oh,
made this
yeah.
pit stop. They're a minute behind, and yeah.
Like, all right, I'll turn it back on in 2 hours and see what happens. But
Yeah.
Indy is like exciting from start to finish.
Arguably the best race in the world. Like, one might
Yeah,
call it
honestly,
the
yes.
greatest spectacle in racing. One might just have
There
to
you
say
go.
that.
There you go.
Here we go.
Hey,
Car,
they,
question
they
mark.
paid for those trademarks. I'm going to use them for them.
There you go.
As
So,
long
yeah.
as we don't get like a letter saying that we've like infringed on copyright,
I'm just helping
go
them
for
out.
it.
I mean, if they spend money suing people, if they just put more money into actually like promoting their stuff, they get a lot farther. But anyway,
So true.
and I would just tell them that. But so Larson does the race, immediately leaves, goes to Charlotte, and honestly, decent race by Larson. Again, had a chance the whole time. Unfortunate, basically a rookie mistake penalty, cost him his chance. He's out of it. Okay, well, might as well finish the race. Do your 500. Get on the helicopter. Get in the plane. Go to Charlotte. Get there. Fly in on a helicopter to the track right as it gets rain delayed.
Yeah.
Okay, not so bad. Not so bad. You can hop in the car. You can go ahead and, finish the race. Nah, we're going to call the race.
Okay. Yeah, like first off, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of funny.
So
But-
he tried to do the double, but he got the double rain out instead.
Double rain out. He did do a double.
Yeah,
He just brought the rain with him to Charlotte.
it was the moist double.
It was the moist
Oh.
double. That was the best tweet I saw
Yeah, no,
all
right?
weekend.
Oh.
Kyle Larson, congratulations for pulling off the moist double.
I mean, he
Terrible
tried, but just didn't work out, and you got to respect the attempt.
Of course we can respect the attempt. Absolutely. I feel like though there's a lot that we can like discuss about the NASCAR stuff. Like first off, I'm like it's highly questionable why they just decided to like call the race. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you could still just run the event.
Like they said the track was drying, everything was looking good, and then they're apparently Fox was like, "Oh, and it's raining more. Okay, we're gonna have to call the race tonight." And from everything I'm seeing about it, it sounds like NASCAR didn't make that decision. Fox told NASCAR, "We're done here," and
We can't pay overtime.
So
or even
okay.
delay it to the next day if you
So-
have to. It's not like it's a Monday,
Yes.
it's a fucking holiday or anything.
Yeah, so like I don't get that. Like I really don't get how a broadcasting company can make that decision for NASCAR, right? Like are they just so desperate for the money from Fox Broadcasting that they're just like sure whatever will roll over and take whatever decision you make? But like even from a track standpoint, right? Like you're already running this race at night. It's not like you're going over your permit for noise or anything. Like they probably just don't care. It's Charlotte. Like it's the capital of NASCAR.
It
So-
was funny with IndyCar. They actually did have a time limit of when they could finish it, and they finished with half an hour to go. But I thought that was interesting. I didn't
Yeah.
know that existed. But yeah, Charlotte has lights.
I also did not know that existed. Exactly. Charlotte has lights. Just continue the race. Who cares?
It's a holiday
If no
Monday.
one's watching it, no one's watching it.
Yeah, you've already sold the ad spots. Fuck it.
Yeah, like I can honestly I can see for Fox why they wouldn't like the race to continue because they're losing all that viewership, right? Because who's gonna stay up and watch the end of a race? Like unless you're a really diehard NASCAR fan, like no one's gonna stay up and watch the Coke 600 until 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
However, like it just
I
doesn't
think people would
make
have stayed up
sense.
and watched it for Larson.
Probably, yeah, you're probably right.
That
Like
is-
just the
that
double
is
attempt and
such-
how.
That is such a compelling story to keep people interested. I don't know why you would just be like, yeah, he just got here. I know
Never
that,
mind.
but
We're
we're
good.
just not gonna. We don't need him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to complain too much because Bell is one of my guys and he ended up winning.
I also
But-
I bet on Bell, so go me.
Look at
Nice.
you,
Did you get money?
Yes. Actually, funny enough,
Good.
also, I didn't realize I accidentally bet on Joseph Newgarden to win the 500 beginning of the year.
Well, there you go.
So I won Bell
Way
and
to go.
Newgarden, and I can keep my streak alive of saying I've bet on the winner of the 500 for 4 years straight, and yeah, I am
Well, there you go.
mwah,
That's something.
perfect. But anyway, yeah. So Bell won. If you're RFK, you're pissed because Keselowski looked like he probably had the car by the end of the night to win.
Maybe.
But yeah,
It's
he gets second.
disappointing.
Yeah.
It's just disappointing all around. But the bigger controversy is what's NASCAR going to do about Larson?
Which is the stupidest fucking controversy in the world.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm sorry. Are you going to be that fucking petty that you're going to ban your points leader, or at least going into the week, your points leader, from the playoffs because he decided to race in the biggest race in the world?
Yeah. I mean, I would think it's stupid if they didn't grant him the exemption, because I'd be like, well, why? Like, why?
You've exempted guys
Why?
for other reasons. Like, you've exempted guys for getting hurt in non-NASCAR events. And for getting suspended.
exactly.
And for doing stupider shit. And stuff that damages your sport and your image. Having your top driver go race in another series doesn't damage your sport and image.
Yeah, and like attempt to do the double, but the only reason he couldn't do the double was because of rain. Like, that's outside of his control.
100%. But
It would
because
be
he
so
chose to stay
stupid.
there, like, you're going to be that petty that he's like, he chose to stay to do that race and not fuck off to go do Charlotte.
Yeah.
I know.
You know what's
I don't race. I'd
unfortunate,
choose.
though? Yeah, you know what's super sad though, is that if there's a series that I feel like would be petty enough to do it, it's freaking NASCAR.
But also, like, it's all these people, like, the NASCAR fans that I see on this, like, are all like the whole, like, they think NASCAR is the most superior thing in the world. That, like, it's down to go race the Indy 500. Oh, who would go do that? Like, what elitist fucking bullshit is that? To be like, oh, you can't be with other, you can't do things with other sports when Larson is the guy that fucking races everything to begin with.
Yeah, and I don't I have such a massive problem with like NASCAR elitism, because I'm like, all right, well, your series is actively dying. So can you really be that elitist?
But like, why
If
are you
even the
being so
fans are walking
petty?
away?
But like, I just
Like,
don't
who
understand.
cares?
Why the fuck can't racing fans in North America get along? Why does it have to be one or the other? Why can't they be like us and be like, by us I mean me and Steven, obviously, because we know how Taylor feels about NASCAR. But why can't we be like me and Steven and be like, I like both. Both things are good.
Hey, first off, I'm really trying this year.
Yeah, we appreciate the trying.
Okay.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah. Anyway,
I appreciate NASCAR for what it is.
yes, and sometimes it can be a real fucking sack of shit. Like in this situation where you're gonna ban your top driver because
I hope they
sorry,
don't.
I'm sorry, the top race in North America isn't a NASCAR race. It's okay.
Yeah,
You're
so
the more
sorry it's not
popular
the Coke
series.
600.
You're the more popular series. We're not taking that away from you. But the best race is the Indy 500. Sorry, just how it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
and the biggest
and you don't need stages at Indy to make it more interesting.
I was literally gonna say,
Ting.
you know, it's not like IndyCar's out here trying to like insert every gimmick in the book to try and get people interested in the series. However, there are problems with both series. Let's just all get along.
Yes.
Just like everything. Racing is racing. Everybody, let's sing Kumbaya.
Like we talk about some of these amazing drivers of the past, the guys that can get in and do everything. Your Foyts, your Andretti's, like for North America, why like Yarborough. You had was it Graham Hill back in the day. Like all these guys that would just race all the stuff. And yet, for some guy not racing in his number one series, you're going to cry and be like, he should be banned for this playoffs. Like, okay, come on.
You know what I
Fucking
really want
grow up.
now? I really want them not to reinstate Larson for the championship, but then he wins the regular season championship and wins the final race of the season. Just because that'd be fucking hilarious.
I think it just shows how non-serious NASCAR is about its own regular season and its playoffs if you would not allow your top driver.
Yeah.
I think if I'm Larson and they ban me from the playoffs, fuck you. I'm going to go race IndyCar the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
And if I'm Hendrick, I support that. I'll strap a big Hendrick car sponsor on that car and go race that IndyCar because it's cheaper than running a NASCAR. And I'll just pull the 5. Honestly, like if you're going to be that petty, I can easily see Larson and Hendrick being that petty. At least I would expect them to be that petty.
It could happen. But I hope it doesn't come to that. But it would be really funny. But
yeah, it's Tuesday and there still is no decision on that. And I feel like the longer they don't provide a waiver, the more it's going to be like, you shouldn't give him one. And I feel like that crowd might win the battle.
how long did it take them to give Chase Elliott one last year?
I don't know, probably a day before his accident.
Nice.
It's NASCAR. Of course, they're going to give one to Chase Elliott.
Oh, yeah.
They have never not given
yeah.
a waiver. Let's just point that out. NASCAR has never not given it.
Okay, so it would be like super, super like petty and just kind of awful if they didn't grant a waiver to Larson. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
There's no reason.
I feel
not
like
to.
there would be a lot of people, other than like the yeehaws who are this good. There would be a lot of sensible people who would be really upset about that.
Definitely. But yeah, Coke 600 rained out. Larson had the double downer. So, what else we got for NASCAR? Stuart Haas today announced they're closing down.
The sad news. The sad.
The sad news.
Which you sort of saw coming.
If you
considering
read their
they were talking about
statement-
selling off.
Yeah.
They were talking about selling off charters earlier in the year, so clearly they're not doing that well.
I wonder what that'll do to the value of a charter. If all of a sudden 4 are available. But yeah, I feel like you kind of saw writing on the wall for this when they had their driver announcement this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, if you read the statement, it's definitely like I don't really want to do this anymore. Like Tony Stewart is doing drag racing. He's doing that. He's got a team there. He's enjoying that part of his life. Gene Haas, I'm pretty sure, is just going full F1 at this point. And just, if you don't need to continue doing this in NASCAR and it's not really your passion anymore, yeah, call it and be like, yeah, we're done here.
Yeah. Yeah. More money to invest in what you're actually prioritizing.
Yeah.
Which, for Gene Haas, he should prioritize Haas. Honestly, put some money into the car. Please.
Would be nice, but yeah. It's been a team since what, 2009? It's been Stuart Haas. Like, that's a good, 14 years?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And yeah, they had, 2 Cup Series championships, had an Xfinity one. Like, yeah, they were a pretty successful team. And I find it interesting in NASCAR now in the last couple of years. You've had some big teams out of the 2000s kind of throw in the towel and be like, yeah, we're done. Ganassi did it. Ganassi said, the economics of this is not what it used to be. We're done. They sold all their stuff to Trackhouse. And now Stuart Haas is like, yeah, we're just gonna stop. Sell the charters, get out.
It doesn't bode well for NASCAR.
It's got to be concerning, right?
Yeah,
Still
well, absolutely. Absolutely.
Though I think we all know where one of these charters is going, right? At least one. Earnhardt.
What do you think?
Earnhardt.
Yeah.
Did you
Oh.
not see
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
trademark?
yeah.
They trademarked the 8 again. So
Mhm.
I definitely could see that, like Earnhardt getting a charter that way. And if they're cheaper because there's more of them available,
Yeah.
or if Tony just goes like, "Here, I'll give you a discounted charter," basically to Dale Earnhardt Jr. So I can guarantee at least one of them's going there. But yeah, I think it's sad anytime you see a team decide, hey, yeah, we're done, we're gonna close up. Because think of all the jobs of those guys who now have to, all the employees, all the mechanics, all the accounting and like administrative side have to go find somewhere else. Like I think if you're a crew or you're a mechanic, you probably can go to another team. But if you're like an admin, maybe a clerk or something, or even like a receptionist or something. Yeah, that's
Not guaranteed.
No, that's going to be harder. That's harder to find another job for. So you feel for those people.
Oh, okay, so they're in North Carolina, but
I mean, like everyone's in North Carolina.
yeah, but like if it's not like right, so they're in Kannapolis.
Yeah.
Like if it's not right in Kannapolis, you can't necessarily continue doing your job
That's true.
somewhere else, right? Or maybe it's seen as a unneeded expenditure to have you around. Downsize.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens.
Steven.
Like you said. Yep.
No, what were you going to say? Continue.
I was gonna say, like you said, 4 new charters, so we'll see where they end up. It'd be nice if like Junior could say, here, I'll take 1 charter, you guys keep 1 charter and someone else buys the other 2 or something.
Yeah.
We'll just keep as much of it the same as possible. But so sorry, what were you gonna ask?
I was going to ask you, because I think we're kind of running out of topics for this week. You want to go over the fantasy? And we can finish up going through that.
What do you want first?
I don't know. I feel like we're not doing well here. And Steven, your reaction makes me sound like
Okay,
you're good.
Why don't we start with F1 fantasy, because I already know who's the lead for that.
We're not going to talk about F1 fantasy.
Oh, no.
We're just going to talk about ourselves. Fuck whoever's in first.
Who's in first?
That guy sucks.
Oh,
I don't.
that's all I've been hearing.
Oh, is it your brother?
All weekend? Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And you know what? I made the mistake. So in our football fantasy, you know how he's won like back-to-back championships. I made the mistake for his birthday. I got him like the fantasy football rings that he won the league for. So all he's saying now is, well, no, you have to ring me for the F1 fantasy because I'm going to win. And I'm like, we're not doing that.
Okay, then you have to
We're not
buy.
doing
You guys have
this.
to pitch in for me to get one from last year. Then. So.
Ooh.
I literally put this in the chat saying, yes, let's do it. More than happy to. So don't even come after me, man. I already suggested this.
You're saying
Anyway,
if he gets a ring, I get a ring.
in NASCAR. All right, happy to pitch in for that. I think everybody should get a ring. Who's won?
Anywho.
Anyway, Steven,
the
you're
first
12.
team-
Oof, that's rough.
Yeah. I was saying the
Yikes.
first team. I don't know what the fuck this name is. It's a 1, a 7, a 0. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Taylor's somehow winning this though. Out of the 3 of us.
What?
Yep. Your
I'm
team
winning
won.
what? F1?
Yes.
You're the
top
first team out of us 3.
one. Yes.
Nice. I don't know how. I haven't looked at it in weeks.
Neither have I.
It's actually pretty close.
Sean and his V carbs are the enemy. You're
How is that
100
team good?
100
How is that team even good? Oh my god.
It's magical. I'm gonna say you're riding the Red Bull high. I think from that team.
I'm
from
riding
the start of the
Verstappen.
season. Yeah. And then my
Anyways.
team,
Oh, I
my
was gonna
team,
joke.
my team has not done well.
Oh dear. Well,
I
to be
thought
fair, you
I
have
thought
had
Aston
like
would do better.
Aston Martin Williams. No shit. Oof.
ooh. Yikes.
God,
I thought
Paige's
Albon
team
would
name is
carry me a
Horner
little.
Picks. Oh my god. Oh, that's awful. That's funny. Anyway,
she always picks the worst team names, like the best but also worst team
those
names.
are fantastic.
Yes. Too funny.
Moving on. IndyCar or NASCAR team? What do you want to do?
Either way, you're both getting slapped. So,
Oh, getting slapped. Oh.
well, considering Sean, you're the first person to come within 30 points. It's because I didn't have a driver for NASCAR. I literally only had 3 drivers, so no shit, you caught up.
Ooh. Okay, well, at least finally RFK has turned it around, which is basically my entire team strategy. Is RFK does something.
Yeah.
RFK does something.
But yeah.
Oh boy.
So Sean is only 25 points back of me.
Steve, what's your team?
My team is Blaney, Larson, Reddick, and Gibbs. So I've got I just closed the standings, but I still got like a bunch of top 10 drivers.
You're literally just riding Larson. Gibbs
No, Reddick's in 6th. Gibbs is 7th.
Okay.
Blaney is my lowest in 12th.
Yeah, and Blaney has not had a stellar year. And 12th is a non-stellar year for him.
Yeah.
So,
He has not had a
but yeah,
strong
like
start
I've
to
got,
the season.
but yeah, so having 3, 6, and 7 will also help your cause a little bit. Sean, you're 25 points back with Elliott, Hamlin, Busher, and Keselowski. So you've got to hope that Ford continues their momentum. Going forward.
I'm still confident in that. I really am.
You know what? The way it's gone the last couple of weeks, there's a good chance you can catch up. You're only 25 points
I
back.
expect to pass you. I'm just catch you. I'm gonna pass you.
Okay.
Taylor, what's
I'm
your team?
good. Don't worry about my team.
No, this is
Nah, we're good.
So the team of Byron, Bell, Bubba, and Logano, 216 points back of the lead, 191 points back of Sean.
To be fair, Logano has been shocking this year.
Yes.
Yeah, he has been so bad.
He has slowly started figuring something out, but he's still down in 17th. Big yikes.
Well, who knows? Maybe I can at least come back in the back half of the season. I don't know. There's still lots of NASCAR to go, so
Yes,
you never know. And also Bell 600 and Byron won stage 1, so you never know. Byron is my boy, so I have hope.
Still, lots of laps to turn.
Lots of laps.
IndyCar is a very different story in that you're both getting slapped.
How is that a different story? Oh,
well,
right.
because
NASCAR's not...
in NASCAR, only you are really getting slapped. Sean is still within striking distance.
For IndyCar. Does Larson count as points for IndyCar? Does that cross over for you?
No.
I think,
no.
Okay, that's
in
kind of
all
funny.
fairness, it
right
should.
now.
I think, in fairness, I should get points for that.
How about
that is
in
a very
fairness,
good
you
point.
don't get... Sean, why did you say anything? What's wrong with you?
Listen, that's kind
We're
of funny.
already... No, you're in the lead.
He's in the lead.
It is funny. However,
Listen,
the answer
you,
is
you have F1. Steven's going to have Indy. I'll have NASCAR.
Indy.
It's going to be fine. We're all going to get our own. We'll all get our own little rings.
Okay. Let's put it this way. If it comes to a tiebreaker for IndyCar, I get those 21 points.
I'll give
Fine.
Because I don't think it will, because Sean is the closest person right now at 150
Okay.
points back.
Who's your team again?
Pillow, Dixon.
No.
Oh yeah, you got 1-2 the
So
championship
the top
right
2,
there. Yeah.
Rossi and Herda.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Meh. Fine.
Okay, well, who do I have?
Meh. Rossi and Herta are both in the top 10. I have
know,
3 of the
I
top
know.
5.
Who do I have again?
Oh my gosh, I don't
who's
even
our teams?
remember.
Yeah.
Sean, you have a Ward, McLaughlin, Kirkwood, and Kiffin Simpson, who
All right.
has fallen from his high graces of making the top 15 in the first race of the year. Now has just 70 points, but is shockingly not the lowest point scorer of the year.
Dude, Kiffin
because
Simpson will
Taylor's
be rookie
team
of the year. I'm
Newgarden,
sorry.
Ericsson, Power. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Simpson will get rookie of the year.
Okay, we don't give bonus points for that, so
I'm
I don't know
just
that's
saying.
relevant.
It was
Okay.
worthwhile. And to be fair,
Y'all.
McLaughlin did get fucking disqualified, so that didn't help.
Oh my gosh, we're not on a redemption tour here.
I'm just saying, I'm still
No more
confident in the
arguing
team.
between you two.
I'm confident.
Okay.
All right. I'm not
Newgarden-
confident in my team.
Newgarden, Ericsson only has 68 points, so he's not. Simpson isn't even the worst pick of this group. Ericsson
much
has 68 points. Power is leading this team at 157, and then the 6 car has 77 points. So,
I'm gonna go retire now. Like I'm just never making picks again.
No, I think those are fine
It's
picks.
painful.
Again, Pillow and Dixon are going to fall off. They're not going to stay up there the whole time.
you made the complete opposite argument when we were talking about Newgarden coming back up.
Newgarden's going to come back. Newgarden's going to win.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
Howard, can we holy fuck. Pillow's going to win the championship again, isn't he?
Probably.
No,
He hasn't
no,
finished.
no. I
We're
forgot
5
that
races.
Newgarden was on my team.
We are 5 races into the season, and he has not finished outside the top 5. Have you realized that?
And has only led 52 laps.
Like, that is insane. God damn, he is good.
Yeah, it is insane.
Oh, imagine he goes to F1. It's a surprise silly season move.
Oh my gosh.
Let's do it.
Where? Ooh, to Alpine.
They should. Honestly, they should.
You know what?
I think
We
we're
I
have
onto
a
really
something.
like
trade
this
to
line of
announce.
I
thinking.
think we're onto something.
We have a trade to announce.
Alpine has traded Ocon to McLaren, Aero McLaren IndyCar for Alex Palou.
For the next contract controversy,
Yeah.
2025.
And they've also strapped Jack Doohan to Ocon just to try and balance out the value.
Duhan goes
It's so when you were like, we have a
into
trade to
NXT.
announce. I was like, oh, NXT. All I could hear was the NFL like draft, like bell thingy ding thing that they do. That'd be so funny.
Yeah, but we can have fun. with that.
Anyway, on that note. Is that all we got for this year? This week?
This year.
This
I
year,
mean,
wow,
this-
that's it.
This year's
Bye.
Motorsport Christmas, I guess.
Yeah.
This
Well,
has
you
been
didn't
one
let
of
us
our
do
longer
fantasy for
episodes.
Motorsports Christmas, so
Steven, you're still going down.
Well, we had a lot to talk about.
We did.
okay.
You're going down.
Anyway, so top 5 finish this week for Detroit IndyCar. Alex Palou, guaranteed. Lock it in.
Nice.
Ericsson is gonna actually come back and win it.
Dixon Palou going to be in the top 5 for Detroit. Lock it in, guaranteed. Bet on it. I'm not trying to curse Steven.
Uh-huh.
Okay, sure.
Okay, on that note, we're done. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and follow the show on Twitter at Spare Parts Racing. That's Spare Parts RACIN, and on TikTok at Spare Parts Pod. Follow the hosts at Sean Chavarella, at Stephen Clary, and at Tay Moore.